Friends, welcome to another Mike Talk. It's Wednesday. You're halfway through your week. Hope that you're doing well. Text prayer to that number on the screen so we can pray with you and for you. And I've had a great couple days here in Indianapolis and a couple more before we head to Cuba. I'll fill you in on all that. But playing in the pool and hanging with the family is good. And it's good for my soul, good rest. So thank you guys for all your prayers. I know you guys are praying for Sarah and I. And pray at 149 today and every day with us for the Song of Sword Ministry. And we'll pray for you. That's kind of what we do. Blessings on you guys. I want to give a happy birthday shout out to Casey Holivot. I pronounced it wrong. Holivot. Casey, God bless you. Happy birthday. And I hope you and Bryn and the kids have a good time. I'm sure you're not yet 30, but you'll get to that big number soon. God bless you. Listen, it is Wednesday, so I want to remind you to go to songandsword.com and hit that donate button if you can. If you have never given, go ahead and give a one-time gift or set it up to give regularly. This is the ministry that God's called us to, and it's doing so much good in our community and the world. And so we thank you for your support and everything that's going on there. Hey, some people are asking about Sunday and what happened to the Sunday sermon. Well, I got back from Cincinnati, and I recorded a sermon, and Mikey, my son, spent about 4 or 5 hours editing it, and our computer's just too full. There's too much on our files, more than you want to know. But anyway, we couldn't upload the 30-minute just sermon part. But we have kept our service online, so you can watch the whole service, including the sermon from Sunday. It's a great teaching on Lamentations. Just want to let you guys know what happened, and prayerfully, this week we'll have the sermon on Ezekiel that I recorded up. So we want to continue in Lamentations. Are you reading through Lamentations? You should be able to do it like in 1 or 2 days. It's really easy read. Or just do a chapter a day. Even if you haven't started, you can make it. It is 5 chapters, but we're trying to get the Word of God in this. Here's what it says in Lamentations 3, a little bit before what I preached Sunday. 3:19 says this: "Remember my affliction and my homelessness, the wormwood and the poison. I continually remember them and have become depressed. Yet I call this to mind, and therefore I have hope." This gives us more insight into the reality of Jeremiah. Now remember, Jeremiah is a good man of God. He's a prophet for God. And he's sitting in Jerusalem, and he's just surveying all of the ruins and all of the destruction of his people and all that's happened because of their sin. And we get some insight into what's going on here. He's homeless, which means he's just sitting in the street somewhere. Remember, the entire city was destroyed, so that means every home is knocked down, the temple's knocked down. Even the prison guard where he was staying for some of his ministry is destroyed. He's just sitting in the streets. He's homeless. He's afflicted. The wormwood and the poison, that gives us some insight into the bitterness. Wormwood is a bitter a wood, a bitter reality. But he's taken, he's saying, I'm drinking poison, wormwood. It's bitter. My life is bitter. And he gives us insight. This is incredible. You think that it's only people who don't have God in their life that deal with depression. And I have become depressed. Mentally, I'm not right. I just can't take it all in. But then he gets to this word that's so important. We talked about it in the sermon Sunday. It's there in verse 24, but it's there in verse 21. Yet I call this to mind, and therefore I have hope. The word is hope. It's the Hebrew word yakah. It's a really awesome word that I want us to think about on this Wednesday. Yakah, it is very deepest root, and it's Arabic root, actually, Chaldean root, which is Hebrew, but goes all the way back to Abraham and them. But its root, the yakah, means to remain, to stay. What does that mean? Well, here's what hope is. Hope is 2 things. Hope, first of all, looks around and says, this isn't it. This is not the finish. This is not what God has in store for me. What are you dealing with in your life today that's painful, that's maybe a result of sin, yours or somebody else's? What is it that's going on in your world that you go, man, this is depressing or this is bitter? or this is afflicting me, or makes you feel like you don't have a place, like you're homeless. Well, whatever that is, that's not it. And I think that's the key to hoping for heaven, is that we look around this world, even if your life's not bitter, if it's not homeless, if it's not dealing with a lot of pain, this is not it. This is not our home. And so hope begins with just realizing it's got to get better than this. And I think we can look around in our world and realize it's got to get better than this, right? But the other part of hope, the yakal that says, I'm just going to remain and wait. I'm waiting, I'm looking around, this isn't it. The other part of it is God's going to bring something better. That's what we hope for, to remain and to sit or to stay in place until God, in anticipation of something better that's coming. And in Jesus Christ, we always have that anticipation. In Jesus Christ, we always have that hope. So today is another reminder for us to sit. In fact, in verse 25 and 26, we'll talk about that tomorrow, about what we do in hope. But the idea is that hope looks around and says, this is not it. So let's just say it with me on this Wednesday. Whatever you got going on today, this isn't it. And the idea of hoping is to remain and staying in place because you know something better is coming. And we have that promise through Jesus Christ, that He works everything together for good for those who love Him and are called according to His purpose. And we have hope that someday He's going to come take us from this place to a place of peace and joy and everlasting love in His presence. That's the hope for the day. Whatever your Wednesday's got going on, there is hope. And His name is Jesus. God bless you guys. See you tomorrow.